to the latest news with Jeremiah Sitterson. Yesterday, President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met at the White House and unveiled a 20-point Gaza peace plan. The proposal calls for an immediate ceasefire if accepted by both sides, as well as the release of all Israeli hostages by Hamas in a matter of just days, and it also includes a major prisoner exchange involving Palestinian detainees. The plan also includes a phased withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza, as well as Hamas's disarmament. The plan envisions Gaza's reconstruction as a demilitarized zone under a transitional technocratic Palestinian authority, supervised by an international oversight group informally referred to as Trump's, quote, Board of Peace, which reportedly includes figures like former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. Additionally, the plan also includes a significant humanitarian aid surge aiming for hundreds of trucks per day in line with early 2025 benchmarks. Netanyahu has endorsed the plan, stating that it meets Israel's core goals of having the hostages returned, dismantling Hamas's military and political power, and long-term security. Leaders from some Arab states and Europe cautiously welcome the plan as a potential step towards stability. Fox News reported that Qatar mediators delivered the proposal to Hamas and that Hamas has agreed to review it in good faith. No formal response has yet been issued. Trump warned that if Hamas rejects the offer, the U.S. would back continued Israeli military action. After we watch this footage from Fox News' Bret, Baier, we're going to talk about how the plan's maritime component, as far as humanitarian aid, is already being tested, and the timing is not that great, but we'll see how it plays out with regards to the Global Sumud Flotilla that's en route currently to Gaza to provide aid. We're going to run some clips on that too in a little bit, but let's go ahead and switch over to this clip with Bret, Baier.
I hope that we're going to have a deal for peace. If accepted by Hamas, this proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages. To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace.
If this international body succeeds, we will have permanently ended the war.
Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, a historic day here at the White House. Joining us now, the Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff. Thanks for the time.
My pleasure, Bret.
How do you characterize this day?
Epic. Epic, really groundbreaking. And the president wants to see an overall peace. It's not just about Gaza. It's about how this might percolate into all other areas in the Middle East and what it's going to achieve, maybe even percolate into
here. But we've gotten word that Hamas has been briefed. Official telling us that Qatar's prime minister, Egypt's intelligence chief, just met with Hamas negotiators, shared the 20-point plan. Hamas negotiators said they would review it in good faith and provide a response. Do you have any sense yet from that side?
No, but I think I don't have a sense yet, but I'll speak to the Prime Minister Mohammed, tonight. We've talked often throughout the day today, and I'm sure it's General Hassan from Egypt who you're referring to, and I'll speak to him as well. But I think that sounds like a very positive initial reaction for a group that hasn't really had time to study our plan.
I mean, speaking about Qatar, there was this moment in the Oval Office, and the Israelis tweeted it out, the phone call with the Israeli Prime Minister and the Qatari Prime Minister, in which they made this call. And he says, Mr. Prime Minister, I want you to know that Israel regrets that one of your citizens was killed in our strike. I want to assure you that Israel was targeting Hamas, not Qataris. I also want to assure you that Israel has no plan to violate your sovereignty again in the future. I mean, that's a big moment.
I mean, I thought that was, I was there for the call, Bret, and I thought, wow, this is so historic. There's an Israeli Prime Minister communicating directly with the Qatari Prime Minister, and they're there to make amends. They're there to explain what happened, to apologize, and to hopefully move on from there. And it was a really positive and uplifting call.
You've dealt with all of these figures in that region. You know how tenuous this can be. One step forward, steps back.
Yes.
You feel this one is different?
I do, because we have so much widespread support from all of the Gulf Coast Arab countries. We have widespread support from the Europeans. I just left a meeting with the British, talked to the French today. So we have a lot of support for the plan, a lot of buy-in. Do we have some details to work out? Yes, but you know President Trump as well as I do. With that indomitable spirit of his, everyone's going to be pushed by him, and I think we're going to get to the finish line.
How much did he have to push Bibi Netanyahu?
I think Bibi is strong for his country, and the president has a great respect for that. But we work, Jared Kushner and I, and under the leadership of Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Former senator, yeah.
Former senator, but he's the greatest Secretary of State, so I'm going to use that title. We've been working all weekend on this, and so the Israelis have bought into this. As the Prime Minister said, they want to do it the easy way first. So no threats. Let's see if we can peacefully get everybody home on both sides, by the way, on the Palestinian side as well as the Israeli side.
So with the historical breaking news of the potential peace deal in Gaza, we also have to take a look at the Global Sumud Flotilla, which is a multinational convoy of over 20 boats from more than 40 countries carrying aid and activists, including Greta Thunberg, bound for Gaza. Departing Greece on September 26th, the flotilla is escorted by naval vessels from Italy, Spain, Greece, and Turkey. Organizers have refused to offload aid in Cyprus, insisting on direct delivery to Gaza. Israel has vowed to intercept the flotilla, calling it a security threat, while activists frame it as a challenge to the blockade and a test of the plan's proposed sea corridors. We're going to go ahead and watch this quick clip covering the flotilla of humanitarian aid that's en route to Gaza.
A humanitarian flotilla heading for Gaza is now just days away from reaching the Strip. Dozens of ships of the Global Sumud Flotilla left the Greek island of Crete on Saturday. Spain and Italy have dispatched 2 naval vessels to provide assistance to the flotilla if necessary.
Well, the way that they're framing it is, they're going to aid the Israeli genocide, which I don't agree with the way that they've been framing that. But I would like to see Netanyahu's team coordinate with the flotilla, accept the aid under the conditions that the flotilla is willing to allow the Israelis to board and thoroughly inspect all aid that's being delivered. A minimal amount of personnel from the flotilla should be permitted with Israeli escorts, and a 5-to-1 ratio as far as any military security is concerned that is accompanying the flotilla full of aid to go into the Gaza Strip area, distribute the aid, and then exit. That would be an ideal ending to this situation. I don't agree with the posture of the flotilla, but I do agree with getting medical and food aid to the civilians in the Gaza region. I think that the countries that are providing security for the flotilla need to be weary about interfering with the current peace plan that's underway. I'm hoping that this situation is resolved to the benefit of everyone, including the Israelis and the Palestinian civilians that are in the Gaza Strip. I would hope that Italy, Spain, Greece, Turkey, that they're taking a very cautious approach to the situation, especially given the developments in the peace deal that is currently on the table. And we will see results of that in the very near future. So I'm really hoping that communication takes place between the Israelis and the flotilla, and they're able to get those goods to the people that need them without causing a security risk for Israel and without any type of international incident. As always, guys, this is your latest news with Jeremiah Sitterson. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.